Yo, so I wanted to kind of touch on two things. One is the some it really ain't breaking news. It's more just informational news about the Diddy trial, and also I'm going to talk about the Trump's big beautiful bill that passed last week. So first, the Diddy trial. So everybody should know now that it's over. So Diddy was convicted of two counts of transportation for purposes of prostitution. Each count carries a maximum prison sentence of 10 years. But a lot of the pundits are saying, and a lot of officials are saying that he's not going to get that kind of time. They're thinking more like maybe 2 years, maybe 4 years, around that range. That's what because he basically was convicted of the lesser counts, which was so he was acquitted of racketeering and conspiracy, and two counts of sexual sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. And so he kind of the jury, which was actually, I didn't know this at the time, but it was majority. It was eight men and four women on the jury. So they didn't give much demographic of their ages or not, and they probably won't know that until the end of the trial. But pretty much, um, the worst counts he pretty much walked on. So um, and lastly, his sentencing is scheduled for October 3rd, 2025. So we'll know then, like exactly how much time he's going to get. Um,
Okay.
so what do y'all think about that?
If it don't fit, you must have quit. So
That's what you
who am
got from
I?
all of this.
It is what it is right now. I would think maybe 10 years max that he'll get served. So I mean, he's Diddy. He has a lot of influence still, guys. He's in power. He knows people that knows people. I think he was with Sam Bankman-Fried, one of the guys from FTX, one of the one of the CEOs of FTX that got mixed up with that crypto scandal. Do you remember that? And he went to jail. So, and the word was that Diddy used his lawyer, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Hmm.
So these are powerful people, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So 10 years max, bro. You know what
I
I'm
got a
saying?
question though. I got a question. What if it wasn't the 4th of July and they had time to just sit there and go through everything? What you think the verdict would have came out?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I believe, and this is I'm basing it on the information that I was getting throughout the trial, and I didn't think the prosecution met their burden 100%. That's just
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that they basically got him on being a boyfriend abuser. Um, he took advantage of, well, and some, and I had a hard time even saying he took advantage of a lot of those escorts because they were being paid. So it was a quid pro quo type situation. They were getting paid to come to his city or town or wherever and do what they did. So the really the and I think the prosecution did this on purpose when they put the Cassie video, because they let of course the jurors got to see the Cassie video where he was beating her up in
Nice
the
down the
hallway at the
hallway. Yeah.
hotel. And I think that was really their smoking gun, and everything else is kind of like were just more of bad character actions. He showed a lot of bad character and a lot of choices that he made, um, dealing with women, dealing with even men. So I mean, it's. But did that meet the burden of racketeering and the RICO and all of that? I don't know about that. And
Yeah.
you take it from a guy who knows. I'm not a legal scholar or nothing, but I got common sense and I know what I heard and I know what other celebrities have done the exact same
The
thing.
same thing. Yeah.
So that's kind of like where my head is at. But what do y'all think about that?
Man, I wonder if they would have dropped RICO charge, how the verdict would have turned out. But at the end of the day, man, he was just guilty on everything else, man. We seen the tape.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think lots of the times we gotta, I'm over it. It is what it is.
yeah.
At this point with
What,
him, man.
what you gonna do about it, right?
What you
What you
gonna
gonna
do?
do about it, man?
That's it.
It is what it is. But his daughter is coming out with a clothing line, though. Check
Oh,
out that
really?
clothing. Yeah. They're dropping a clothing line for real, for real.
Hey,
Yeah.
might as well.
You gotta recoup them. Hey, them return. Hey, them fees are that's expensive, brother. You gotta recuperate all that.
I bet it
It's
sell
rough.
too.
Yeah, you know it will.
I
We'll
bet it
see.
sell.
We'll see if they get blackballed or if people going to embrace them like like the heroes. Well, it ain't the daughter's fault. It's like they're just learning from his business acumen, and they're gonna, capitalize off of knowing the business of retail. But
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, Diddy. All right, man. Shout out to you, brother. Whatever, man. Hey. But that's
Hold on, I was going to say. Do you want me to go ahead and go
I
with the
bet his
next
book's
topic?
gonna be fire as hell.
It's about this big beautiful bill. So I'm gonna tell you, man, I like politics. So I wanted to dig into it a little bit and learn a little bit about the some of the bills. I mean, some of the legislation that passed in the bill. But one thing that I learned, if I didn't learn anything else, is that the Republicans are no longer about small government. Okay, you used to always hear, they get on the microphone and talk about small government. Well, that's not the case anymore because they did some spending in this bill. Okay, some spending, and I'm just going to tell you like this. So, basically, after they got done with all their tax cuts,
yeah.
the deficit is going to increase by $2.4 trillion between 2025 and 2034. So
2 trillion. 2.4 trillion.
2.4 trillion. And actually that's not counting interest. If you add interest into that, there's another 600 billion dollars. So it's some, so they've been not, I may not ever hear them talk about we want small government and we want low spending and all of that. No, what they want to do is transfer the spending to the states. They want the states to do all the spending instead of having it come out of our federal tax dollars because they're using it for tax cuts for the rich. And I will be honest though on one thing. So though they give, they basically maintain the tax cuts that Trump had in his last administration, but also they did give some good tax cuts for the small business. So the tax deductions increased under this bill. So that, I mean, I'm not going to just totally slam him because some of the things that he did for the working class, or not the working class, I should say, what he did for small business is going to help greatly. So that's one thing. However,
Can you go deeper into that? How it's going to help the small business?
yeah.
For
So
the
what
people
he
that got small
did,
business,
yeah. So what he did is for business and investment breaks. He basically did what they call he extended the business and investment breaks, which is 100% bonus depreciation for write-off of equipment and research and development. So that means that if you have a company and let's say you got 10 riding lawnmowers, right? You
I'm
bought them
with you. I'm
brand
with
you
you.
bought them brand new, and that's why I mentioned it because I know you can relate to this. You got 10 of them. You just bought them this year. Under his new tax bill, then you are able to write off 100% of the, because when you, and I know a lot of people don't really, if they never done their own taxes, they probably don't understand what I'm about to say, but I'm going to explain it the best way I can. When you let's say you paid $10,000 for a lawnmower, right? Well, the federal government, when you ask for a tax deduction, they have a dollar amount that you can deduct from the taxes that you owe based on that one piece of equipment.
Right.
So that dollar amount could be $1,000, it could be $500, something like that. But let's say if you had 10 of them, and you took $1,000 from 10 lawnmower, that's a $10,000 tax deduction. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it works. So you get it. So that's basically he's doing. So he increased it to 100%. So whatever the maximum tax deduction you could get from that piece of equipment, you're going to get that under the tax bill. But I'm gonna tell you one little sneaky thing that they did in this bill that really I said, boy, they never cease to amaze me. A lot of the tax deductions that they gave for the working class are temporary. They're not permanent tax cuts like what they gave for corporations. They're temporary tax cuts. So, for example, I think I took the liberty of writing some of them down. So the tax cut for, I know you guys heard of the tax cut for the overtime and tips, right? Have y'all heard that?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yep.
So that tax cut is only going to be it's a temporary, which means it's only going to be offered from 2025 to 2028. And once 2028 is passed, then that means it's going to go back to whatever it was before. So whatever tax breaks you were getting before, that's pretty much what you're going to get. Now they have and I didn't have, I
But
don't
why
have
do
the
I
list.
feel like
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
why do I feel like down here? Why do I feel like that overtime they had that no tax on overtime down here in Alabama once before? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
well,
clearly remember that.
well,
Oh, really?
from what I read, that's unprecedented. That because this is an IRS move. Really, it's an IRS change. They said it's unprecedented that any administration in our history has ever allowed tax breaks on overtime and
I feel like that
overtime
happened down
and
here.
oh, and tips. I'm sorry, I blanked out for a second. Yeah, so this is something new. This is something new that's been done. But what I don't like about it's not that I think it's great because if you guys do your research, you can go online. I mean, you could chat GBT it if you want, but it'll actually show you the breakdown of how much money you will get uh, as far as a tax cut if you make a certain dollar amount. And I know that the sweet spot is 25,000. So if you make over $25,000, then you can take full, and it's in overtime or tips. Then they have a formula that you use that you could actually get a big, maybe $1,200 or $1,300 back from taxes, but you have to meet the maximum threshold to get the maximum amount of money because they have a different threshold if you make $10,000 in tips in overtime. So it's different formulas for the different dollar amounts. But the problem I have with it all is that for the working class, all of those tax breaks are temporary, but the ones for the corporations are permanent
Yeah,
tax.
permanent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's trying to appease the working class by allowing us to get some tax relief. However, you basically telling the people who have unlimited funds that you got for perpetuity or meaning forever, you get
Right.
you get a tax cut, your corporation get tax cuts. So it's
Hey, Alabama did pass its overtime exemption in 2023, so we did have that down here in
Y'all did
2023.
have that? Oh
did y'all
wow.
did y'all have
Yeah,
overtime and tips too? Tips as well?
no, not the tips, but I'm talking about the
Yeah,
overtime, not the tips.
yeah,
No,
but
I ain't talking
they're
about
kind
the
of
tips. I never
yeah,
got no
they're
tips
kind of
unless I cut grass, so I don't.
yeah. So they're kind of together as far as the bill goes. They're kind of tied together.
Yeah.
Now, so I did do some little as some extra research, and I found that so I'm going to just give you a couple of uh, gains that's going to come to American people from having these tax cuts. Um, One of them is the middle class and seniors will enjoy a standard deduction and credit, so they're going to get an increase in their standard deductions and credits as well. So
Right.
he's like I said, he's trying to appease everybody,
Right.
but by giving them a little bit of something, but the majority of the wealth is going to the rich again.
So kind of sort of he's kicking the can down the road just a little bit, right? And seeing what's going to stick.
Yeah, I mean he's giving because you know what always happens in politics is the working class, they get upset when the corporations get tax cuts and they say because we didn't get anything. So Trump tried to appease the working class by giving us something, but I still feel like ultimately what you're giving the rich is far more beneficial because corporations, I don't know if you noticed, but they don't consider corporations. They don't consider them people. So they more like even though it's people who comprise of a corporation, they
Right.
just, but ultimately reap the benefits way more than the working class, and that's really what I take from it. Ultimately, so what we have to do, I would say, is we have to fight more for those cuts to be permanent.
Right. Right.
So,
But that's
Okay.
that's down the road right now, right? So when will that take effect?
well, I mean, once the bill passes, then it's passed, and so
Okay.
then everything in the budget for, I guess it would be from the time the budget passes, and but they say the bill is 1,000 pages, so I mean literally it's so much in there that I mean unless you go through it with a fine tooth comb, you don't know exactly what every when every bill is going to be implemented, because some of these bills are actually budgets that have already existed, and what happens is when the budget exists, then that budget expires either I guess whatever the end of the fiscal year, and then it has to be reallocated. So, but one of the things that I read a couple of weeks ago when I was looking at the budget, there's a lot of what I would call subsidies for like uh, um, black colleges, for um, child care benefits and stuff like that. A lot of those are getting cut. They're just not getting cut this year. They're getting cut at the end of the last fiscal in the last part of the fiscal year, or I guess the fourth quarter. They're getting cut, and that's it. So
Yeah.
benefits that people are enjoying right now, they're going to lose
They're
next
gonna
year.
lose.
So
You
I mean,
said next year.
Next
next
year.
year, yeah. So a lot of this it's one of those weird things where you're really not going to see the fallout until next year
Yeah.
on certain things.
Okay.
And some people are going to be really happy when next tax season comes because they're going to get a bigger check, you know. So it's going to work out for some, and some is, especially in Medicaid. I did some research on Medicaid, and they really are putting the hammer down on people. They're tightening the restraints on who can get Medicare or Medicaid. I'm sorry, and so that's something we got to really pay attention to, because it's a lot of elderly people are on Medicaid,
Yeah,
and
tip
so
me in
they're
on
gonna
that.
suffer somewhat if they're under 65 years old. So because that's the provision they have in the new bill, that if you're under 65, then they're excuse me, they're tightening the restraints on you. So.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, but that's pretty much what I had for this week.
There's so
Okay,
many
okay.
changes
Hey,
happening.
very dope.
Go ahead.
Say what?
No, I'm just saying, like,
No, I go
just
ahead, cuz.
no, just reading what you just shared with about the big beautiful bill. There's a lot of changes that are happening, and 2026 is I think we're going to see as a whole. How the economy is going to be, how healthcare, a lot of those changes that are going to start to manifest
Yeah.
uh, next year and years to come. One of the things, if you don't mind me segueing into, is the new protocol, the new protocol when it comes down to electronic transactions too. When it comes down to sending money
Hmm.
across border, to other countries and things of that nature. Like you have your regular Western unions and whoever you send your money to, you go send it to someone overseas. They're going to start to incorporate a new messaging system. Um, also, um, right now they use Swift right now currently as the transaction, but they're going to implement an ISO 20022 for financial messaging, which will incorporate some of those tokens, digital currencies that the president has already signed an executive order for, along with artificial intelligence. So everything is kind of like moving fast forward. These will be real time settlement tokens instead of you paying a higher fee. It'll be real time. So if I send money to someone that lives in China or wherever outside the United States, it's instant. There's no waiting around for it. It's like a text message, and
Wow.
just get the funds right then and there. It frees up a lot of liquidity as well too. That's been sitting stagnant. And so a lot of financial institutions and credit unions, they're being trained on this new protocol, and it has to be implemented by November. And if you're a financial institution, if you have a bank and you're not using the ISO 20022 protocol, then you're going to kind of be left behind as a financial institution. And
Wow.
so, yeah, yeah.
So,
So,
so, um, so, so James, so you telling me that are banks going to be fully indulgent in cryptocurrency now?
yeah, there's some banks that's already holding it. JP Morgan's bank is holding digital assets. There was also a patent with Bank of America that's holding digital currencies with a company called Ripple,
Hmm.
and so that's been in the works for a while. And so right now because of the tariffs and because of the $1 trillion, and you just mentioned the $2.4 trillion that this big beautiful bill is going to add to the deficit.
Yeah.
It's going to kind of free up a lot of that, you know.
Wow.
But there's an alternate. So you're going to still have your traditional way of sending money. Then you're going to still have your legacy way of sending money because people aren't going to agree with the new way, of
It's not
course.
going to be
So you got to
immediate.
yeah. So you have to like kind of softly bring it in to the people to where it's secondhand. They don't think about it, and then because it's faster, it's real time settlement on a blockchain system. They're gonna go with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But
So
let me ask you one last question about that. So, does that mean that everybody is going to have either a crypto account or a crypto wallet themselves in order to do that, or how does that work when you because when you're doing it through a financial
right.
institution like a bank? Do you
Right.
know anything about that?
Well, I would say that it's going to be up to your financial institution on how they're going to uh, enroll that to their members. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's up to the financial institution how they're going to package that new type of um, technology as far as sending money.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so they want it seamless to where there's not a lot of questions behind it and using it. So it's going to be up to them, and
Oh,
that's the reason why they're going along with the whole ISO initiative right now. So they can get trained on how to do it. I'm quite sure. Chase Bank is going to do it different from Bank of America. How they're going to promote it to members. So all banks going to have their own way of doing it.
right.
So, but yeah, so it is a thing. Again, this isn't any thing that you should be afraid of. Just know that that's another part of the way that we're going to start transacting in the future,
Got you.
especially next
Right,
year.
right,
Especially next year.
right, right. Hey, look, and before we move on to the next segment, man, also for the people that's looking to have babies, y'all need to go ahead and have babies now. Trump are giving y'all your kids account put $1,000 in there for their college funds. All that is going inside.
$1,000. We in an inflationary environment. You saying $1,000, Tony?
It's a free thousand, ain't it? Is it a free
Is
$1,000?
it is it tax?
So I mean that's a free $1,000 you can leave in there for for interest. I don't know what that'll be in 18 years, but if you don't put another dime in there, you're gonna have
I heard
something.
That's true. I didn't look at it like that, but yeah. I just,
Yeah, man. Yeah. Go ahead and have
What else?
babies. But
Wait a minute,
anyway,
so when
man,
you
since
get
y'all want to talk about
so Hustle, where you get that information from? You heard it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
Oh,
definitely
wow.
have a baby. Have a baby by me, baby.
Well, you gotta
Hey,
have a
but
lot of
listen.
babies to be a millionaire.
Yo, it was.
Hey, but listen though. Since
Now
y'all
hold
don't
on,
want
hold
to
on.
talk,
Since we talk about money, free money. Now, is it true that if you report a legal that ICE, well, the
I
administration
ain't
will
doing
pay?
this with you.
That's
I ain't doing
$1,000
No,
per person.
is that true?
That's true. That's true.
I'm
The
not
ICE
doing this with
agents
y'all
get
guys.
$1,000 to $1,500 per person that they take to one of them holding facilities.
Hey, didn't one guy quit? What's up with the Epstein files? Are we gonna get them?
Ain't
No.
nothing up with them. They
Well,
missing.
they made a big deal out of it when they went breaking news on it and had the files in their hand. Whoever, I don't know what it was in that binder, but they
It
said
wasn't
they
no, but
had
it
them.
was an empty binder,
It was
man. It
empty.
was
They said they had it.
Hey, let me tell y'all right now, them files is gone. And it's somebody that's got probably somebody that nobody know got a copy of all of them. That's my
right,
conspiracy belief.
right. That's the crazy thing about it. But look, check this out, guys. That's the hustle topics with Tony, man. Great segment this week, man. Great knowledge and jewels you were dropping, man. For the people that don't know, shout out to you, Tavy, with breaking down the bank and stuff like that. And like I said, guys, if y'all looking to have a baby, make sure you get that Trump account with that $1,000 in. Hey, Tavy, man.